Hi, I was asked to answer a couple questions about the current market, challenges that maybe buyers or sellers might be dealing with. So I'm just going to answer those real quick off the cuff, just like I would if my clients were asking me. Here you go. As far as the market goes right now, in Colorado specifically, it's extraordinarily active. Everybody already knows that. It's very competitive. Which has pros and cons. On the buying side, it can be a big challenge in Colorado Springs specifically, especially under $300,000. Depending on what part of town you want to be on, maybe even under $400,000, and it's competitive. So what that means for buyers is you have to make quick decisions, and you have to be confident in your decisions. So. The biggest piece of advice that I give my buyers, whether they're brand new or experienced buyers, because even experienced buyers probably have not experienced a market like this, it's unique in its own way, is don't be in a hurry. Take your time, gather information, get out there and let's spend some time looking at houses in person. Looking at stuff online is fine, but the way that houses feel in real life, specifically how the neighborhood feels, how that vibes with what you like, you're really not going to know until you're there. And every neighborhood is different. So let's slow down, take some time together to look at houses. Honestly, I prefer at least 8 to 10, maybe even 10 to 12 houses, doing what I call practice shopping. We're kind of training for the real deal. So we get out and look at several houses in different neighborhoods and really get a feel for it without ever thinking about writing an offer. Now, the reason why I do that is because the market is so competitive, you have to make a decision quickly. So whenever the house that you really want comes up, typically these days, especially in those kind of mid-lower price points, you have to pull the trigger on something within 24 hours, sometimes even quicker. That adds a lot of stress to the process because you don't really have time to process the purchase decision. And this is a huge decision. For most people, it's the biggest decision they make in their lives. So when you don't have time to really think through it, it can lead to buyer's remorse. You get it under contract and then you sit back and you think, you stay up at night and you're like, oh my gosh, is this really the house? Am I sure it's the house? Maybe there's a better house. I don't know. That's normal. But the reality is if you have been in, 5, 10, 15, 20 houses already, your confidence level in that being the right neighborhood and that being the right house, having the things that you want, how good it is for you relative to the other houses that we've seen, you can be a lot more confident in your decision, and that lowers the stress level through the process. The reality is, buying a house is a stressful process no matter what. As agents, our job is to minimize that stress for you as much as possible. We're here as a buffer to advise you, to guide you, to take a lot of the hits in negotiations or things along the way that might stress you out, but if we can absorb that and make the process easy, then that's what we're here for. I always tell my clients that for me, I feel like I did my job right when we get to the closing table, they sign the paperwork, they get the keys, and they say, man, that was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I promise you, it's usually not easy, but if it feels that way to them, then that means that I did my job well. So slow down, take your time. Don't plan on pulling the trigger right away. See the houses that are out there, and then when the right house comes along, you can be confident, you can be relaxed, and you can actually enjoy the process instead of stressing about it all along the way.